All right, hello tea family, and welcome to the replay for those of you that are joining us after the actual live, and welcome to the live for those that are here while we're doing this. We are going to be talking about what tea for game day, because it is the big game today. It is the Super Bowl, and yes, my team is actually playing, but I probably won't watch tonight. Only because I am not at 100% today. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get some extra rest. But we're not going to let that stop us. And I hope it doesn't stop them from winning tonight, because they are my team for my whole life. Now, we are going to show you today that tea is really the ultimate game day beverage. Specifically today, we're going to be talking about Jade Chai. So while you're here, say hello. Let me know what you're drinking in the chat or comments, depending on how you are with us today. I know that there's a lot of illness and flu going around where I live, so we might not have everybody here, but we're going to be making some definite things. And one of the things is Jade Chai is a softer chai blend, is how I describe it to other people, because we have a caffeine-free chai and we have a traditional black tea or masala chai. But what we wanted to do was, we have so many members of our tea family that really, really just love green teas, and we wanted to make sure that they had a chai blend just for them. And one of the things that I want to talk about for that is, we had to soften the blend of spices so it didn't overpower that delicate green tea. And so that's what we accomplished. It's a softer blend, but it is actually a very popular blend, and we're going to be doing some fun things with it today. Now, specifically, there you go, looking at it. The green tea base is going to help keep you alert for the fourth quarter of the big game. The cinnamon, cardamom, clove, those are going to be built for matching with heavy snacks. So this is a nice, slow blend, very, very much a softer blend. Okay, so what is Jade Chai? Well, let's talk about our Jade Chai. Again, I'm going to pull it up and let you see. Jade Chai is green tea. It's kind of going to be smooth and easygoing. Cinnamon, think warm, cozy, hint of sweetness. Cardamom, it's going to have bright, almost a citrusy note, very uplifting. And clove, this is a deep, grounding, sort of a little spicy moment. And those are what are put together for our Jade Chai. Now, it is a green tea, so we're going to be about 175 degrees for this one. 1 minute for the first brew, 2 minutes for the second brew, 3 minutes for the third brew. I've already brewed ours ahead of time, and no, that is not what is in my cup today. Mostly because I said I'm not at 100%, and so the chai spices were not going to settle on my tummy well today. So, but if you like your favorite chai and kind of a spa tea, and they kind of have a crossover episode, so to speak, that is what this Jade Chai would be. Now, a fun fact, cardamom is one of the oldest spices in the world. It was used as currency in some ancient markets. I can't imagine paying my rent with cardamom pods, but it would be easier to do this for me today than it would have been, I'm sure, back then for them. So another unusual fact is clove buds are literally flower buds. You're basically drinking tea seasoned with some unopened flowers. I hope that makes it extra fancy for you. All right, so we've brewed it up, and Diane is enjoying some Tiger Eye Chai hot tonight. That's awesome. That is awesome. Again, we brewed this earlier today, and this is the second and third brew, and we did it at 175. Now, that is a little warmer, so green tea 170 to 175. I did it on the warmer side, and the reason for that is I don't want to burn the green tea. It's kind of rude to the tea, but But it's also going to burn it, have a bitter notes, etc. And so we want to kind of keep it at that lower temperature. But the spices, they're going to want, that's why I want to go with the 175 as opposed to like a 170, because the spices, the slightly hotter water will bring out more of the flavor of the spices. So did you know that chai means tea? A lot of people don't realize that. And so when they say, oh, I'll have a cup of chai tea, they really are saying tea. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there because sometimes you'll get people that do know that, they get a little frustrated and they're like, it's the same word. And if you'll ever notice, I am very careful not to, I say Jade Chai or I chai blend. I typically don't because I don't want to say the same word twice. Okay, now I do have to say, in Jade Chai, cardamom is really kind of the star of this blend after the green tea. It's the third most expensive spice in the world, and it was used by ancient Egyptians as a tooth cleaner. We use it because it's going to taste absolutely incredible in the tea, but it'll also match so perfectly with salty snacks, which is what a lot of people enjoy on game day. Okay, now let's go ahead and start talking about what would we have to pair for foods, and especially if we think about a Super Bowl tea party. Uh, what? I can't say that word. Okay. Big game. Okay. So, Andy Dandy assistant just threw me off completely. Anyway, so we're gonna go with like, and we're gonna have some perfect match. We've got a wild contrast. We've got some different things, but let's start with kind of the perfect match, and that would be jalapeno poppers. Clove and cinnamon and jade chai are actually going to bridge the gap between the heat of the pepper and the creaminess of the cheese. Really great harmony of flavors. Another one that might be a little bit more unusual is one of my handy dandy assistant's favorites, and that is Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yay!
I don't know if you could hear him cheering in the background. We did have to go and buy these specifically just for the live because it's not something we normally eat. I know he's very much not disappointed that he's going to eat those. But the Cool Ranch Doritos are going to really bring out kind of the green tea flavor, but the spices are going to balance really well against that Cool Ranch. The corn chips, they bring a sweetness. It's kind of one of the really unusual things, but absolutely spot on. Now, if you're more of a sweets person, then I'm going to make a suggestion. Here you go, handy dandy assistant. I'm going to make the suggestion that you think about a Krispy Kreme hot now glazed donut, or just really glazed donut holes in general. The tannins in the green tea, the sugar that you would have on your plate from some glazed donut holes, they're going to really bring out flavor combinations and contrasts that are going to bring so much more flavor to the palate. Excuse me. Sorry about that, everybody. All right. Ooh, blue Doritos. Yes, blue Doritos. Blue Doritos. There you go. Okay. Soft pretzels with honey mustard. Another game day favorite. These are really going to pair well. Cinnamon and cardamom are going to love the sweet, salt, and tangy flavors that you're going to get with the honey mustard and the soft pretzels and everything. Those are really going to pair very well. Now, you can also do pretzels in Jade Chai with the big game power couple you didn't know you needed. That is another really good one. Some nice salty pretzels. They're just going to really blend well with the spice of in the green tea in the Jade Chai. Okay. What else? Well, what's another game day food? I'm going to talk here for a moment about spicy chicken sliders. Cardamom is going to cool down the spice that you would often have, whether it's from a Frank's Red Hot or from hot spicy peppers or however you are making your sauces for the spicy sliders. The cardamom is going to help cool that down. And so if your tongue is on fire, this is where the Jade Chai will save you very, very well. Now, Jade Chai really should be the handy dandy assistant's favorite tea. It's not, but it should be his favorite because an unusual pairing, but is also really, really good, is another one of his favorites, and they are barbecue potato chips. There's officially more junk food in my house right now because of this live with Jade Chai than there normally is. But barbecue potato chips, the smoky sweet flavor is going to contrast against the bright green tea and chai blends. Uh, this one is going to definitely be something that you're going to want. And I know barbecue chips are very, very popular. So here you go, handy dandy assistant. There you are. Yes, you're getting spoiled tonight. The funny thing is, none of these are my favorite chips. So he's going to have them all to himself. Okay. Another thing that a lot of people will have, especially if they're trying to be a little more health conscious, is like a guacamole and veggie chips. The creamy avocado and the warming spices in the chai blend, really unbelievable flavor combination. Really going to bring out some of the flavors of the chai blend, and you're going to taste more of the creamy avocado, softening it up. Great combination right there. So you are getting spoiled here. There you go. All right, another one that this would be the one that I would normally partake in, but not today. And I really want to always try and find some that are like really unusual foods, that not that the foods are unusual, they're fairly common foods, but that are unusual flavor combinations. And that one for Jade Chai is going to be mozzarella sticks. I know you probably did not expect that, but the cardamom is secretly amazing with cheese, especially the mozzarella cheeses. It's really going to play off. And then you have a little bit of the spice in the red sauce if you have your red sauce with your mozzarella sticks, but even just with the bite of the oil, adding a richness to balance against the grassy notes in the green tea. Very amazing combination. So, which of the combinations then food pairings that I suggested tonight are you the most excited to try or the most surprised by? Please put that in the chat or the comments, as I'm interested to hear what you have to say. I know for me, I never thought about the avocado and veggie chips because I'm not a huge guacamole kind of person myself. So there you go. All right, now Jade Chai, I've talked about different things. I also have green tea chai blends are actually one of the oldest recorded versions of chai. Black tea chai came later. So I said it twice then, black tea chai, but black tea based chai flavored blends actually came after the green ones. The green tea blends came first. So I guess you could say we're drinking ancient chai today, but I just thought it was interesting that the black tea ones came first. Avocado. See, yep, done. They answered the avocado first, and that's okay. All right. So let's continue on, and we are going to make a mocktail now. I actually have a couple of different mocktails that we can talk about, and I just lost where I had my recipe, so now I have to pull it up again. It'll be okay, everybody. Okay. We're not panicking yet. Maybe tomorrow I'll panic. But there we go. All right. So we're going to talk about mocktails. And the first one we're going to do is what we're going to call a green field sparkler. Okay. And we're going to use our Jade Chai. And what I did was I brewed some earlier, but it still stayed pretty warm. So I'm going to put a little in here. Yeah. All right. Then to that, I don't know why I did that. I'm being a silly today, but that's okay. It's just going to be a little extra Jade Chai. All right. So we're going to put our Jade Chai, about 4 ounces. This has been brewed and cooled. And then we are going to add a little bit of apple juice, probably an ounce at the most. I have some right here, some apple nectar. Okay. Again, maybe an ounce. Then I am going to add a tablespoon of organic maple syrup. I probably only added about a half a tablespoon, but that's because we are not super sugary people. All right, now we're going to mix this up. And I'm going to make a mess like I always do. I do not know why I always end up making a mess with that, but you know, that's what I mean. Okay, then you will want to add a little bit of carbonation in this. This is really great for anybody who wants something instead of like a beer or anything like that. And again, I only added about an ounce of the ginger ale. Now, I would put a lime wheel or a hint of mint on the top, something. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's one of those things. I can't. Whenever I go to make a mocktail live, it always makes a mess. I do it. I make the mocktails and I practice during the week. In fact, I did a reel this week when I was brewing the Jade Chai blend and made that one, no problems. But anyway, just a nice little garnish. Now this is going to really bring out just a little, the ginger's going to bring out the flavors of the other spices. You've got apple, you've got the maple syrup to bring in the sweetness. But yeah, there you go. That one is super easy. It's a great game day mocktail, high energy, not super high in caffeine though. All right. Welcome, Dominique. All right, the other mocktail I'm going to walk you through. This is the one that I was interested in, but I can't do both. And this is, you brew your Jade Chai like you did before. And we're going to brew it hot. Then we're going to add about another tablespoon of maple syrup. And then you're going to mix that maple syrup into the chai while it's hot. Then you're going to put it aside. I like to just use mason jars and put it in your fridge and let it cool. Later on, and that part you could do, first thing in the morning or the night before. Then what you're going to do is take out 2 ounces of whatever kind of milk, oat milk. Let's see, you could take out a almond milk, a traditional milk. I would probably not suggest a coconut milk just because it's going to have a little too much of the flavor, but just a simple milk in a nice frosted mug. You're going to pour in 6 ounces of your Jade Chai tea, 2 ounces of that milk. In this case, I would say oat milk would be the best. And then you had that 1 tablespoon of the maple syrup mixed in. This one works. We're going to call this one kind of a halftime haze because it's going to have that hazy, not quite as clear look to it because of the milk. So that halftime haze, the maple syrup is going to kind of pull out some of the sweetness of the green tea even more, especially the natural sweetness of the cinnamon. Let's see. If you really wanted to make it extra special, it's going to sound funny, but like a pinch of salt on the top, like a teeny tiny true pinch, like maybe even half a pinch. The salt is going to kind of bring out some of that balance, some of that sweetness, and some of the spice from the other spices. And then, of course, you'll have the creaminess of the milk. It's actually a really amazing one. I had something similar before, not with my Jade Chai, but I wanted to make that. But yeah, Tommy's just not going to take it today for me. But I did want to kind of talk about that as another one. Let me go back to my regular screen now. There you go. All right. That's what I have for game day, you know. And again, let me know, what do you think was the most unusual food pairing you thought, or which one are you looking to try? Let me know in the chat or the comments. I also wanted to let you know, let's see. I don't know that I would use goat milk. I think goat milk is going to be a little strong. I do want to also announce that we will be doing our live sale on the 20th. So that is where we'll actually have some items. Some will be it won't be Valentine-y, but we're going to kind of do an Easter one. And we are looking at right now doing it on the 20th. No, yes. At 7 p.m. Central Time, just for everybody. And that is one of the things that I wanted to announce this week. Let's see. Any other questions or comments about our Jade Chai, or about anything else that I've said here? Handy dandy assistant, to go with all the chips, you might want this. And yeah, it's going to balance pretty well with the sweetness. Yeah, let's not spill it over the equipment that I have right there. All right, but you know, most of the things it's pretty straightforward. Any questions? I'm trying to look to see if there's questions. I have to go to multiple screens now. But we're all about the balance with the Jade Chai. Lots of great opportunities to eat. Another thing that's perfect for a game day and a Jade Chai combination is a charcuterie board. Again, you're going to have those Jade Chai, you're going to have the spices from the chai. You're going to have the softness of the green tea. So that's going to balance against the kind of the meats that you would normally see on a charcuterie board versus the cheeses you're going to see on a charcuterie board. A lot of similar flavors, and you would be all set. All right. Well, I don't see any questions coming up. So I will say thank you for joining me, and I will see everybody next Sunday at 6 p.m. What are we talking about? Let me look. I have it in the calendar. I just forgot to look. We will be talking about soup and tea pairings, kind of which soups go best with which teas. And so I hope you'll see everybody for there. And for everybody who's been watching on the replay because you're not feeling well, please feel better soon. We all miss you. All right, everybody, we'll see you next week.